Hello again and welcome back. I am reviewing another journal for you. This is journal number 16. I used it from November 29th to December 31st. Now, I reviewed Leuchtturm notebooks or Leuchtturm 1917 before, and I wasn't impressed with the notebook at all. However, I had 3 empty ones on my shelf that I wanted to use up, so I still have 2 left. So this is the one that I chose to use for that time, and I have to say, I kind of feel a little bit differently about this notebook now. So when I used it before, it was some of the not being able to write with certain pens or certain inks, and then the ink shadowing really badly or even bleeding through was a big issue for me, and it was a point of frustration. So this time when I picked up this journal again, I was really careful to really pay attention to the colors of the inks, and I used markers. This was the day we tried durian and almost died. It's so horrible. I used a lot of my darker colors, lighter colors, and so I kept really good eye on my journaling pages because I wanted to be absolutely certain how I felt about the Leuchtturm 1917 after, this journal. Being that I did have, this was my 3rd, and now I have 2 more on my thing. So I tried stamping, and if you look there closely, you can see a little bit of ghosting through with the stamp, but it just didn't bother me so much this time. I did try this stamp too, which was pretty cool. It ghosted a little bit, but really wasn't something that bothered me. I was trying out different stamps and whatnot. So I kind of didn't hold back this time. I went through my ink rotation several times. I put pictures in here, used a little bit of washi sometimes, made lists. This was during Christmas, the Christmas time, and I made a list of all of the movies I wanted for us to watch. As you can see, I got a little bit of water here and smudged my Private Reserve sepia, but it didn't bother back here. Now, in my other Leuchtturm, I did watercolor. Up here, you can see some of the bleed through from this date stamp that I have. I got it on Amazon, and it works really well. And you just kind of do like that. It's black ink, so there was a little bit of bleed through from that, but it really didn't bother me too much. I'm pretty minimalistic when it comes to like decorations. Oh, these were the girls were making me money. I'll put in like inspiring pictures that I like. I'll do little doodles, and I just write and write and write mainly. I can write up to 15-20 pages a day if I want to. There's a reason why I left this blank. So that was actually the day that SpaceX launched the Starship prototype, and so that was a really big day for my husband and for us. So I wanted to print out an article and put it in there, and this was the geostorm, and I don't think anything significant happened at all that day. So this was when I started binge watching The Office. I know it's so silly, but I just hadn't watched it before. So here, this started because I wanted to play with some markers and see how, see if I could recreate that bleed through, I guess, that I experienced last time. And honestly, I couldn't recreate the bleed through from last time. This was watercolor page oh no, this was a marker page. I used my mild liners, because I'm also trying to use those up too, because I bought them and may as well use them. There's a little bit of bleed through, you can see from the turquoise mild liner, but I also didn't hold anything back either. I wasn't trying to do just a little bit. This was an ink splotch, and if you see my ink splotch right here, over here, you can just barely see it. So this actually makes me wonder if maybe some of their journals are older stock, and then perhaps they maybe this is a newer stock. This was some, I actually hand wrote an entire thing from the founder of Hobonichi because it really spoke to me. So I hand wrote his entire thingy because that's just some of the weird stuff that I do. This is blood. I had an issue, and not like a female issue. I had a thing happen, and I know it's weird, but it was kind of poetic. The reason why I put it in there. Oh, and I experienced Talk of Texas okra pickles, which was just wonderful. Like, they are life now. But as you can see, the majority of my journaling in here is writing, sometimes just that kind of stuff. I went to the emergency room. I had a really bad experience with one of the RNs in the emergency room, and he was very, very mean to another patient. And so I wrote everything down, and I actually filed a complaint about that guy because he was a jerk, super jerk. And so here's another one, another from my kiddos. And as you can see, I used all of my different inks. Here's another watercolor painting. I take a lot of inspiration from Pinterest, and I'll print out pictures that really speak to me. And then, because I am brand new to watercoloring and art in general, I try to interpret them, and not necessarily copy, but I try to interpret them in a style of art that I enjoy. Was there another picture here? Nope, that was it. And as you can see, the no color bled through here either, which, you know, that was a problem in my other journal. So I'm not going to bother you with, you know, going through the rest of this whole journal. But I am pleased to say that I actually really enjoyed using this Leuchtturm journal this time. The paper quality I felt like was much better than the one I used earlier in the year, and I kind of gave a bad review to. This one, I don't know, I think maybe I just got a notebook from an old batch or something, and this one was a good batch, I hope. So again, I hope you enjoyed this review of my Leuchtturm 1917. I hope it was in some way helpful to you, and I hope that you liked it. If you did like it, I hope that you would push that like button. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I do videos like this all the time, and I'll see you next time.